everybody. This is Jim Cornette, pro wrestling legend, and you're listening to the Book in the Territory Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast.
This is the artist formerly known as Daryl Van Horn, James Mitchell, the Sinister Minister, and I'm here to let you know I would rather slam my cock in a car door than to miss the dulcet tones of Hard Body Harper, my illegitimate son, on Booking the Territory podcast.
Welcome back, everyone, to this week's episode of Booking the Territory, the Unprofessional Wrestling Podcast, where today we're talking Smoky Mountain Wrestling, episode 161, February 25th, 1995. We are counting down to only 39 more of these to go after this one. Been a fun ride, but enjoy it while you can. I'm sitting here with Doc and not Hard Body Harper. The recording schedule is perilous these days, and if you folks knew what was going on in my personal life, really, to be honest with you, it's nothing bad, but, you know, sometimes tragedies strike and death can happen. And
tragedies is nothing bad, but tragedy strike. Very confusing.
I've got a situation with a family member who is very ill, and it's we're having to work around schedules because of that, and that's why
what you're saying is that I have been incredibly flexible to accommodate you, and you're welcome.
Well, and unfortunately, if I tried to accommodate you and Harper, I couldn't. That's the problem, and I'm the one who records this shit. So there you have it. I'm the producer.
We need an intern.
I don't know if an intern would help, because at the end of the day, you would be talking to no one.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you mean if you and Harper can? That would be the day. We're gonna do that one day. Just out of the blue, I'm gonna be like, you and Harper record the show. I'm just gonna sit here.
That sounds great.
It would go like this. This is Smoky Mountain Wrestling, episode 161 from February the 25th, 1995. Harper, how you doing? I'm good, bruh. Living a dream, brother. Yeah, me too. Hit the tagline. That would be the show.
Or you would have the video on in the background, and we just go, hey, look at that. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I like that too. Hit the tagline.
That's the other part. Y'all are talking generalizations about what you're seeing, but you're not describing any of it, because that's what you two like to do. But anyway, again, real quick, shout out to Disrespectfully Classy, Marky Blassie, Kyle Riley, Mike Childry, who for all intents and purposes are our largest sponsors of this show. They are sponsors, essentially, and our Patreon contributors contribute to this show monthly. So thank you very much. This is taping number 2 from Lenoir, North Carolina, Mulberry Street Rec Center. Doc, how you doing this morning? You good?
I'm blessed and feeling like I'm getting ready to be a blessing. This is not going to be the best episode of Smoky Mountain, but it's a really good one. And man, I'm torn. I got to tell you, I'm having mixed feelings, because I've really enjoyed the last few years taking this ride through the Smoky Mountains, but I am going to be real happy when we're done. So it's bittersweet, I think, as we start to near the end.
I don't think there's anything wrong with you saying you'll be happy when we're done. I mean, it's been a lot of work.
We'll find new things to do.
Yes, you are correct. It's been a lot of work, but it's been a lot of fun at the same time. And, you know, we committed to this thing, and we're going to stick with it through to the end.
That's right. All the way, man. You finished the race. You run all the way through the finish line, not up to it.
You know, the good news is, when we're done with this, it frees up time to do more stuff for our patrons. So
I agree. I think that's the real thing, is that, you know, we haven't had a problem doing Smoky Mountain, because for the most part, other than those first few months getting off the ground, Smoky Mountain is a hell of a promotion. So it's good stuff. It's going to be kind of a grind here in about 3 or 4 months when this thing starts to really, I'll just spoil it here. There's a show in August that's huge with big ass names and lots of stuff going on. And from that show in early August to the end is kind of,
Yeah, you don't want to see it go away, but it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about February 25th and whatever shithole this is.
Right. So let me start the Patreon recording. And I just started the recorder for our Patreon video for this episode. And it is, again, episode 161, February 25th, 1995. Les and Jim Ross kick off the show, and they open the show. They run down the lineup for the week. I won't really get too deep into it.
Well, you should.
Why?
Billy Black is back.
Well, I mean, I was going to get there shortly, so I didn't want to just throw it out there now. But we'll talk about that when we get to him. Anyway, they open the show, running down the lineup for the week, and they throw us straight to the ring where it is the Inferno, or, they don't say which one, versus Boo Bradley. And Boo is still wearing Cactus's tights. I don't know why, but I made that note. He's got Cactus's tights that I'm sure smell really, really good. And JR talks about Sunday Bloody Sunday, where Boo Bradley and Chris Candido will battle in a dog collar match, and the loser will be leaving Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Boo wins this match with a splash off the top rope and pins the Inferno. Boo retains the TV title in his second defense right here. I'll throw it to you, Doc. It's an enhancement talent match where Boo is just beating up on this poor bastard. But what do you have?
I needed Harper here for this because, I heard Boo come out to Cactus's music, which is Steppenwolf from like the early 70s, I think. But Boo needs his own music, but I wonder what it would be, and there's no way you can answer this, so we'll just table that discussion. I was also wondering, do you think Boo's tights smell the same as when Cactus had them, or worse now?
He may have washed them when he first got them, but so they probably smell the same. The stench caught back up. Let me say it like that. And Boo's theme song would have been. I'm just going to throw this out there because I saw Jericho had them on their podcast this morning. Skid Row, Youth Gone Wild. I don't know, bro.
Good, best stuff. You're the most awful at this. What was your entrance music?
I've told you this a few times. You
I know, but I forget things. Too many chair shots.
So the first one was Bone Thugs and Harmony, Thuggish Ruggish Bone.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that jam.
The second one was Juvenile, Rich Ends.
Whoa.
The third one.
Were there children in this audience?
Yes. Come on, bro. This is the 90s, dog. This is the 90s, man. And the third one was, God, I don't even remember the title of the song. I only used it for a very short time. Was one of Lil Wayne's songs. But anyway. I'll play
I would have said that he maybe should have come out to Metallica's Welcome Home Sanitarium.
Yeah, I don't have a fucking clue what that is, bro.
Okay.
What do you want me to say? I do not know.
Maybe Crazy Train by Ozzy?
Yeah, I'm going to have to defer to the BTT Army on this one. And
so everybody, send it to SMU Heavyweight. What would Boo Bradley's entrance music be in Smoky Mountain?
Well, Dave Jordan, one of our BTT Hall of Fame Patreon members, whenever you and Harper talk about music, he's real good about posting a link in the thread of the show on the Facebook group, and he'll always post what it is and what the song was, and that way everybody can enjoy the things that you and Harper talk about. He's really good about doing those things. So thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for doing that. Do it again. Let's see what we get.
All right. So any other thoughts on Boo Bradley, Doc?
Boo's raised his profile, man. He's moved up the card here, don't you think?
Yeah, TV champion. I mean, going up against Loser Leave Town. What can
he does some? I mean, this week, and then we're going to talk about next week here in a little bit. But he's doing some big moves at the ring too. I mean, he's not just a chair swinging freak.
We've had this discussion about him too. He is very much a agile big man. I don't know if many people realize that when we talk about Boo, but he really is. He's an agile big man, and he can do a lot of stuff. He hits that moonsault with great ease. He's a hell of a worker. He's a hell of a worker. I like him in Smoky. We've talked about this before, but I'm glad he got out of that comedy gimmick too when he went to ECW, because I think there's something good to that.
Someday we need to discuss how many guys went to both that we liked better in Smoky Mountain.
List them all. I agree.
I'm going to put the gangsters over there too, but we don't need to have that discussion now. We do need to hear from Boo, I think, don't we?
Yes, we need to hear from Boo, because after the match with the Inferno...
JR popped me here, by the way.
Well, real quick, they replay Candido reluctantly accepting the loser leaves town match against Boo Bradley in the previous week, and then JR kind of guilted Candido into agreeing to the match, if you recall. And then we go to Boo Bradley here, who's with JR after the match.
Gentlemen, we are back here with Boo Bradley, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, big doubleheader weekend. Boo, you got a big weekend ahead of you. You're aware of that, aren't you?
Yeah, I gotta go. I go into the zoo, and I'm gonna go see the gorillas and the dolphins.
Well, I don't know.
Everybody.
I don't know how many dolphins there are in the Smoky Mountain area. This is a big weekend for you, you know.
Yeah. Well, the zoo has the gorillas. Gorillas go.
Okay, let's Johnson City. Let's think about this. This is a pretty serious deal for you. In Johnson City, if you lose the match, you got to eat dog food. If Chris Candido loses the match, he's going to eat the dog food. But perhaps more importantly, if you lose the match in Knoxville and that dog collar match against Chris Candido, you got to leave Smoky Mountain. You got to leave all these nice people.
Well,
and you can't come back.
Mr. Ross, Jim, it's a good thing you told me about that, you know. Chris, no, it's okay. He's okay. But I'll tell you, you see this, Chris? This dog collar right here used to keep this on me and keep me in the backyard, chained up to a tree. Used to feed me dog food. And now I get a chance to make him fly away like a birdie and go leave Smoky Mountain Wrestling. But it's more than that, Chris. Because you treated me worse than any man's been treated ever. And when I take this chain and wrap it around your head, and you know, there could be a lot of blood and stuff.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about it.
Well, he wants to get rough with this, I'm going to get rough. And I tell you, when I get to Knoxville, there's no more fun and games that night. Chris, I hope you got a lot of money, because you're not going to be making it here anymore. And that's a promise to everybody.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you hear it from Boo Bradley. We'll be right back. Don't you go away. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Doc, the first part of the promo was hilarious. You want to comment on that?
The part that popped me was at the very beginning when he said, "You got a big weekend coming up. You are aware of that, aren't you?"
That was good.
Once again, good old JR pulls out his industrial-sized spoon and starts stirring the pot. Can you imagine how sad a zoo in one of these little towns would be? I was thinking, when he said that, I was thinking about the bear that Harper said, you know, please kill me.
Suicidal bear, yes. That's
yeah.
I thought about it.
So that's what I thought about when
throwing Cheetos to the goddamn bear.
Yeah, so are you drinking a beer already?
No, it's a Pepsi.
Okay. A Pepsi. There's a musical reference there for all my punk rock fans from the 80s, but I can't use it on you. Yeah, I think it's funny also that he goes, "I'm glad you told me about that." You know, that's pretty funny too. This is one of those matches that's going to have consequences. So this is going to affect some things in Smoky Mountain. So
yeah, you got to stay tuned. You got to stay tuned for this one, because this is, I mean, the loser is going to leave town. I mean, there's no other way to put it. The loser leaves the goddamn town. They don't half-ass it. They don't fart around with it. It's a stipulation that's adhered to, and good for them. I mean, that's what you wanted from the promotion. When he started talking about going to the zoo and seeing the elephants and dolphins and then the gorillas, and you know, if you're a Patreon member, you can watch what he does. He starts acting like a gorilla, and JR is looking at him like, "What in the flying piss is this?" Like, it's really good.
They should have had New Jack come out later and claim that was discrimination.
Yeah, that would have been good. All right. Anything else before we go to Chris Candido's follow-up after Boo?
No.
All right. Let's go to Chris Candido, who's out next, responding to what Boo Bradley just said.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Smoky Mountain Wrestling. As you know, the big doubleheader weekend is upon us. You heard the comments from Boo Bradley. He's ready for that loser leave town matchup in Knoxville.
Jim Ross's would never happen if it wasn't for you. You walk around here. First of all, who are you? You think you're some kind of an executive? I know you're nothing but an announcer, and you're the one who stirred all this stuff up.
You're the one that brought it up. You're the one that said it in the first place.
First of all, Jim, the fact of the matter is, coming up this weekend in Knoxville, if Boo Bradley beats me, I gotta leave Smoky Mountain Wrestling for good, and then, I got another place I can go. There's more things I can do besides this, but the fact is, this is where I want to be. Right here, Smoky Mountain Wrestling and Boo Bradley. At Smoky Mountain Wrestling, you've agreed to this. You're trying to take away my livelihood, trying to take away the make I make a living, and it's driving me crazy, and it's all because of you. After I beat Boo Bradley and throw him out, I might just throw you out too, and Boo, you're gonna wind up right back in Jersey, tied to my tree, and I'm gonna beat you every day like I beat that cat. You're trying to take away my living. You're trying to finish me up. There's no way. There's no way I'm staying. I'm not leaving. I'm staying right here. There's no way I'm going.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what a confrontation that's going to be. Plus, what a confrontation for the Smoky Mountain Heavyweight Championship. I want to tell you something. I got some information right here I want to share with you. We're going to give you a recap of that whole situation. Take you back to last.
All right, he's about to throw it to a recap. But I thought Candido was good. He's on fire.
Yeah, he misspoke at the end, but it's okay because he's so worked up that he can't keep it together. So that works. I
agree. Tracy has done that a few times, and I think that's I think it's good. You know, I mean, it happens in real life. You get so fired up, you kind of fumble your words, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. So, he did say there's lots of places he could go. I wonder where that's going to be.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you heard Jim Ross right there. He was about to throw us to a replay, and they do throw us to a replay of the Dirty White Boy undressing Buddy Landel and tearing his clothes off of him after he called Dirty White Girl a horse and a mule and various other names. I know we don't cover replays, but this was...
She's a mule!
This was... I mean, I watched this a second time. I'm just going to let you know that. I usually replays get the little fast forward. This replay, though, with Budrow going off on Dirty White Girl, got played again. This was some good stuff.
I still fast forwarded.
Okay. All right. Well, with that said, I need to get moving to Budrow, who he's about to cut a promo. So let's go to that right now. Here it is.
I want to see the White Boy. Landel, get it on.
Dirty White Boy, I'm the Nature Boy, Buddy Landel. I come out here in a $1,500 suit, something you totally know nothing about. Coming out here to my victory celebration, and you come out here and rip my suit off of me. It's 11 below zero outside. I'm butt naked standing here, nothing to wear home. You bad I'm gonna kick your Sunday, bloody Sunday, baby. Let me tell you something. You diesel driving, pickle licking sack of I'm gonna kick your stinking brains in. The best thing for you to do is go home, seal the doors and windows up, and cut the gas on. Because I pray to God that you beat Jerry Lawler. Because Sunday, bloody Sunday, I'm gonna kick your
The big doubleheader week.
Budrow, for those who aren't Patreon members, which you need to become one at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT, Budrow is cutting a promo with a tie around his neck, no shirt on, and in his tighty-whitey underwear. Those aren't boxers. Those were tighty-whities. But he's going off, Doc. What else do you have?
Well, and he also said he's butt naked, but he's not. But I get what he means. I like fired up Buddy here. And I like the fact that he's cursing, man. Bleep it out. But he's hot. Something bad happened to him. So he called him, a sack of shit. And he's going to kick his ass a couple of times. I like that.
Sack of shit. Fat ass.
Feel real is that, yeah, I'm mad, dude. You just cost me $1,500 in the ring. Plus, you tried to embarrass me. He's not going to come out here and jaw jack for 20 minutes and stand in the ring and trade barbs. I'm pissed. So
Very
just like you
point.
stumble when you're pissed, I cuss when I'm mad, you motherfuckers.
So I'm always good because I at something I write down the timestamps so we can play them. Now, this is how you cut a promo when you're mad at someone. You don't sit out there and fart around for 20 minutes on Monday Night Raw at the beginning and jaw jack back and forth and blah, blah,
or have
blah.
some entrance music to bring somebody out so you can brand them. They're just hot and they're in their fucking draws and they're cutting a promo. And
Budrow cut that promo. It was 48 seconds from start to finish. And that's
anything else would have been too long.
Well, it's just all you need, man. He's pissed off. He got stripped down to his underwear. He had his clothes and his suit ripped off of him. WWE, can you watch stuff like this and do it?
No, they can't. They don't care.
It ain't that fucking hot, guys. We ain't building a rocket.
But here's the thing, and this is what they would say, and they wouldn't be wrong, but they wouldn't be right. So you want us to do the things that a small-time regional promotion that went out of business because they couldn't make money do when we've never made more money in our lives. Okay, pal.
Well, I mean, they got something with that, but...
Well, that's the answer to never having to do anything.
I guess. Whatever.
We're here to make money for the shareholders, pal. And at the last quarterly investor call, they seemed pretty happy. So thanks for watching the shows, and we'll send you a little program for Lance.
They seem real happy while Triple H was leading the investor call, beating his meat. Okay.
Well, he did that on the investor call. Wouldn't that be great?
Well, he jerked himself off verbally. I mean, I'm not going to say he literally didn't do it, but you know what I'm saying. Know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, all right.
What Booker man do you know that doesn't do that?
That's a good point, too. Doc, do you have anything from Lawler's promo? I thought it was really meat and potatoes.
Yeah, I thought he was, I thought he was okay. I thought the one line he had is that he's sitting in the Motel 6. DWB is sitting in the Motel 6 eating his fingernails so bad his stomach needs a manicure. But other than that, it wasn't what we've seen in previous weeks. But that line was something special. So, yeah, I'd say we could keep moving here.
Very good. So let's keep going. We got Dirty White Boy.
I'm not getting paid by the minute here, so we don't have to talk about everything.
Well, I mean, it was meat, but it wasn't bad. When we say meat and potatoes, that's a compliment. I don't know if people realize that.
Yeah.
It's not like a flare line.
You tried to talk about this shit 160 times. Come on.
Well, it's not just that. It's meat and potatoes. He's doing his job. He's talking him into the building, and it wasn't like there wasn't a line in it that would pop you, is I guess my point. So anyway.
It popped me.
Well, I guess. Let's go to Dirty White Boy now, though. He's got something to say after everything that's been going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, you saw what happened here last week. You heard some rather heated comments from Nature Boy Buddy Landel. He made in his underwear. And then, of course, we heard some comments from Jerry the King Lawler as well. What a weekend. The biggest weekend, I would think, in your entire career.
Well, this weekend I've got two big mountains to climb, either in Johnson City or K-Town. What I have to do is I've got to walk to the ring, and I've got to beat Jerry the King Lawler for the Smoky Mountain heavyweight title. Now, Lord, I don't know how you can call yourself the heavyweight champion when Buddy Landel got that belt for you, buddy. He's the person that put that strap around your waist. You didn't do it. And then after I get through, that's my plans. I plan on walking right straight through Jerry the King Lawler. And then, Nature Boy, I seen you out here. You're a little upset. Well, you can expect to get upset a lot more around here, because the people I've been talking to has talked to me, and they have said, White Boy, what is wrong with you? Get back to your old disgusting, mean way, to where if you got to grab an announcer, I don't care anymore. I'm fed up with you, Nature Boy. What's going to happen is I'm going to rip your head off and shove it down your stumpy throat. Whether you like it or not, Sunday Bloody Sunday is going to be real, real bloody, because, Nature Boy, you've talked about my family. You've talked about me, and that's all right if you talk about me. But when you bring my family into it, somebody's got to get their ass kicked.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, what a weekend. Don't you miss it, and we will be right back.
I like the line at the end. You know, you talk about me, but you talk about my family, somebody's going to get their ass kicked.
That's a great line. I mean, that is the period at the exclamation point at the end of what is a really good promo, which is, you tell them what you're going to tell them, you tell them, and then you tell them what you told them, and that's the way to do it.
Yeah, but there's something to the thing what he's talking about. Look, when you're a public figure, you want to, and people go after you and want to talk shit about you. Okay, that's fine, but I've always said, like, leave wives and kids out of it. I mean, like, they ain't do shit. They aren't a part of this gimmick. So why
you were always talking bad about Luttrell then, you motherfucker?
I'm talking about, like, not me and you. I'm talking about, like, let's say you got a listener out there and all of a sudden he starts going after your kid.
Oh, then somebody's gonna, dirty white boy. Somebody's gonna have to get their ass kicked.
That's my point.
I could just quit. We could just quit doing this.
Well, no, you're missing my point. The point is,
I got you.
If you want to go after the radio personality, if you want to call us that, podcast personality, I don't care.
Don't even go after us. Just don't listen.
I think you're missing the point.
I'm not missing the point. I'm redirecting your point. Leave me alone.
Because, I mean, we got people who come after me all the time, and I think it's funny. Like Cornette, or Johnny Cornette, as his name is now. He makes fun of me, but I think he's hilarious.
Okay. He was good there. That bandana was something he was wearing. Oof.
Yeah, it was magical. He being dirty white boy. Goddamn pronoun.
And I thought when he said he was going to get back to his dirty, nasty roots, I was like, maybe he needs to go live in the school bus again.
Jesus Christ, no. Okay.
That was a great episode when Dutch went out to the junkyard and he busted out the back of that school bus, drunk, drinking. Yeah.
Drinking drinking liquor at what we assume was 7 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, that was awesome. All right, here we go. We'll keep going because we go to the next match. It is George South of NWA Saturday Night fame, the famous enhancement talent, all around good guy, versus Bad Boy Billy Black. Now, Billy Black is one of the members of the Wild Bunch. If you have been with us since the very beginning and have listened to all of these shows, which I'm not sure why you wouldn't, if you're here at this point, Billy Black was with Joel Deaton, and they were a tag team called the Wild Bunch. In very early Smoky Mountain, they were in the tag team tournament to crown the first Smoky Mountain Wrestling tag team titles. And don't get too used to Billy Black, though, as he's returned. He doesn't stick around for long. I hate to give out a spoiler, but that's what I got to say about Billy Black right now. Now, Doc, you kind of hinted towards something with Billy Black earlier, so I'll throw it to you, and you give me your thoughts on Billy Black.
Yeah, they were in the tag team tournament, and they did a lot of work in Japan, and they sent over a tape before the tournament. And, man, I remember me and Harper popping on that. We were like, man, these guys, what? These guys are amazing. And then they just left after the tournament, and we never heard from them again. So I would assume that Billy Black is probably going to be the guy with the second longest interval between appearances. No, probably the longest, because Gordy came back for Night of Legends.
Right.
I was going to say Gordy. So he may be the guy with the longest interval between appearances in Smoky Mountain.
Yeah, he literally got close to three full calendar years.
Yeah.
Because he came in and that would have been like March or April of 92. So he's almost literally 3 full years. Gordy has already come back technically. So yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's got the longest interval.
I think we do need to go and find out. Were you aware of what Billy Black's entrance theme is?
No. What? Go ahead and tell me.
Let's try this. If you were going to talk about like the most, and I'm saying this in a good way, so everybody calm down, because I like this band a lot. But if you were going to think about the most prototypical hillbilly band of classic rock, just the guys like Billy Black listen to, who would it be?
You asking the wrong person. Well, you just say it. Harper's not here. You're going to have to just spill the beans.
Are you aware that there's a band called Leonard Skinner in the world?
Oh, yes. Freebird.
Right. Well, yeah. This is their song Saturday Night Special, which is actually kind of an anti-gun theme because the Saturday Night Special is a gun. And most people, in that part of the world probably don't pick up on that, just like they think Born in the USA is a patriotic anthem.
That's actually worse. If you want to talk about non-patriotic anthems, that Born in the USA. Right. Born in the USA, the beat and the title of the song screams America, but it screams America, really.
Yeah. They took our jobs. Billy Black looks like a member of Lynyrd Skynyrd, dude. I mean, you should go look up some pictures later. He looks like if he was standing next to him, he's not sticking out. He's blending in. And he also kind of reminds me of like a more agile, younger cousin of Black Bart for some reason.
Yeah, he looks like he could be related to Bart. That's for sure.
And then the only other note I had here was that his top rope elbow was kind of sloppy.
Yeah, and again, don't get used to him. He wins with that top rope.
We'll talk about why next week, so you got to hold on a week.
Yeah, don't get too used to him. Actually, Corny told us why he.
I'm going to talk about it next week. I have notes.
Good. All right. Do you have anything from his promo?
I want to know what's in the sack, because that's the great part about a sack is I want to know what's in it. I mean, it could be his laundry. I don't give a shit, but I want to know what's in it. And the fact that they're not telling me makes me want to know more. And I got worked.
So you want to hear Billy Black's promo?
No.
Okay, I don't think so.
Now, if you look at him, though, while he's there, is he on the screen? I can't see the screen right now.
Yeah, he's on.
Okay. He looks like the kind of guy who's got all of life's answers. He'll tell you everything, how it ought to all work. You know what y'all do. This is how they're fucking up. This is how it's supposed to work. But if you press a little further on him, you realize that he struggles to pay his electric bill regularly. But yet he knows how he's trying to book everybody else's territory, all the way up to the government and geopolitics and the weather and Uncle Carl down there and everything else. But he keeps stringing together 2 consecutive months of full power at his house. Am I wrong?
I think we've all either had a family member like that dude or know someone like him that literally can claim to tell you how to fix all the problems in the world, whether it's political, whether it's religious, whether it's the weather.
Man, let me tell what you need is Jesus, and we need government out of our lives, but we need to have government do this. But wait,
a walking contradiction.
Did you come up with this while you were sitting in the dark over at your house the other night?
Ah, shit. All right, man. Here we go. Oh, man. He does look like that dude that's got it all figured out.
Yeah. Well, all I'm going to tell you is, pal, it is not 1875 up in this motherfucker.
Well, okay. So let's keep going. We got a promo. It's a confrontation with Jim Ross and the Gangsters. Now, first, when they first go to the ring, they replay the Gangsters attacking Bob Armstrong. Then they replay the Gangsters attacking the Southern Boys and Bob Armstrong, clearing the ring. And then they finally go to the confrontation with the Gangsters and the line that Doc just quoted. So, Doc, you got anything from the replay while I queue up the new sound drop that's we're about to play?
Man, I feel bad for the Gangsters. They're having to fight everybody, and I mean everybody.
What do you think the people in the Smoky Mountains, when they're watching on their black and white TV and they see this big old X flag behind Jim Ross, are thinking?
The race war that Pappy told us about has finally come to fruition.
And I'm not talking about like people in the big cities. I'm talking about these little outlier Smoky Mountain towns, man.
Sitting there rocking in their recliner, just stroking their rifle. Let them try to come here.
These sons of bitches with their X flag, they gonna get a piece of this. They come around here. I don't play that shit up in these parts. These are mountain territory. It's my territory.
This is our country.
Oh, I can only imagine. I'm telling you, man, they got some old granny who's racist like a mug sitting in her chair. This ain't the wrestling the way it used to be and the way I like it. Turn the damn channel, turn these damn beefs
She's
off.
also the woman that if there was a black family in the neighborhood would say, I don't like him on TV, but that little N boy down the street sure is sweet and cute.
He's nice. That family down there, they're nice. They're not like the rest of them.
Right.
Okay. We gotta stop, man. We're fanning race wars on this show sometimes. We get off the box, man. I'm just saying, man. Look, man, people, we're just having fun. Calm down. Life's too serious. Let's go.
There's
man.
161 of these things. We gotta talk about something.
This is so funny though, man. God, I'm just like, look at JR. He's got this X flag behind him right here. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, JR's thinking, man, if only my face didn't get all fucked up, I wouldn't be standing in the middle of this hellhole in front of this stupid ass flag. I'd be fucking making deals like when I screwed the Crockett's out of all that money with Watts.
That's nice. Let's go to JR now, though, and see what he's got to say as he's in the ring with the gangsters.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there you see what happened in the last few weeks here on Smoky Mountain Wrestling. As I said, this is a huge weekend for your group.
Let me tell you something. It's 1995, not 1875. Meaning I can beat a white boy and they can't put me in jail for it. I don't care nothing about you rednecks not liking me. This weekend, oh yeah, it's gonna be a doozy. We gonna beat up a whole lot of folks. Y'all don't like me because why? I come and do as I say I'm gonna do. We done beat everybody you done put in front of me. Now, Heavenly Borders, Jim Cornette, I don't care who it is. The gangsters in and that garbage is out. The junkyard dog days are gone. The tap dancing 2 Ghost Scorpio days are gone. The gangsters in. And if you don't like it, I don't care. I don't care about these fools not liking me. I didn't come here to be liked. I came here to get paid. And whether you like it or these rednecks like it, it don't make no difference. Because as long as the money coming, New Jack gonna keep kicking butt, whether it's black or white. It don't matter, because I don't like no damn body.
Well, I think the feeling is mutual. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I think we've heard all this we need to hear. We'll be right back.
You quoted it a second ago, Doc, when he says it's 1995, not 1895, meaning I can beat a white boy and not go to jail for it. God damn, that had to be impactful in this area. And then I thought he was funny.
And also the JYD line is where he should have left it. 2 Cold Scorpio was not well known enough. I mean, I popped on it, but the JYD line that's a stiff line, man. Because JYD was the one that even the white people, the racist white people, put a place in their cold black hearts for and let in. And he's like, nah, them days is over. We ain't trying to be that.
So I'm glad, and I apologize for the dog.
You keep barking. That damn dog quiet. Man, let me tell you something, people. I've seen this dog that's barking. If you want to talk about a little weenie dog that's an annoying piece of shit, that's it.
You like dogs, Doc.
And I love dogs. Love dogs. I love dogs more than I like people. But is that dog annoying, Mike?
Bruh, he's like all bark, no bite, and he barks at anything and everything. And it's my mother-in-law's dog, and they just left to go out of town to take care of some family business that's going on. But so the dog is he's running around, and you usually don't hear him because the mother-in-law usually has him, but he's a piece of work.
So speaking of the dog, what'd you think of that JYD line?
So
that's your boy.
I want to go back to that. I actually think New Jack he's really, really inciting a race war, because the thing is, the dog was loved by white people, black people. Everyone loved the dog. He really united people. And so he makes that reference. And I actually like the 2 Cold Scorpio reference, because Scorpio, although definitely not as well known as the dog, if you remember him during that 90s phase in WCW, he's out there shucking and jiving, he's dancing, and he's coming across as just, the happy-go-lucky, one of the good ones. And that he might be termed. And I thought that Jack calling him that was perfect because he's like, look, we ain't here to sing and dance. We ain't here to shuck and jive. We ain't here to beat a dog and fight for the white people too. We here to fight for us. Like he's saying that.
If you could only do one, would you rather shuck or jive?
Neither.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I took from that. That's why I thought him talking about Scorpio. Because see, the dog was out there growling and scrapping and fighting, but he wasn't shucking and jiving. JYD didn't shuck and jive as an African American professional wrestler. He was no shuck and jiver. Scorpio, he was shucking and jiving in WCW with that Marcus Bagwell thing.
The real thing about what I've heard about Scorpio is it's amazing that he could tap dance like that as high as he was.
Well, yeah, that was the other thing because I think didn't Shivani has said that, right?
Bischoff too, I think.
Yeah. So anyway.
I thought this was a really good promo because he's out there saying, I don't care what it is. Because the thing of it is he's saying what all wrestlers really think, regardless of race. If you peel back the onion, is I don't care what color you are. I came to get paid.
Yeah,
it's a job, and he's really breaking kayfabe, but nobody's going to see it because they're too wrapped up around the other stuff that's happening.
Yep. I'm with you.
And so it's a really effective promo, and I thought this was just really, really good.
Excellent stuff.
And again, he didn't stand out there for 15 minutes. He got in and got out.
He sure the hell did, and that's a great point too. God damn, when they stand out there for 40 years, it pisses me off.
These sons of bitches today are acting like they get paid by the word, man. I need you to make me feel something in the shortest amount of time possible.
Well, when you got
and all I feel today when I watch it, bored.
Yeah, when you got 3 hours, Phil, I guess that's
man. I got a 7-year-old who looks at me and goes, "When are they going to start wrestling?" And I'm like, "I don't know, son."
Right. He's not alone either. Just so you know. All right, so let's keep going. They show a brawl in the Hall plug where Tommy Noe is running down the card for Brawl in the Hall. We're going to talk more about that another time. Not right here. And then they go to Jim Cornette, who's out there. He's with JR. He's going to cut a promo and respond to New Jack. And holy shit, let's go to that right now. Here it is.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thanks for being with us here this week on Smoky Mountain Wrestling. As we said, we are right in the middle of the big doubleheader weekend in Johnson City and Knoxville. What a weekend for you. I talked to the gangsters earlier, as you heard.
Yeah. I heard them in the back in the locker room. People could hear them 3 miles away. As a matter of fact, let me ask everybody a question. When you saw New Jack out here, don't you agree that a mind is a terrible thing to waste? Huh? New Jack comes out here flapping those lips, making more static than a $2 radio, running everybody down, running everything down. The people of Smoky Mountain Wrestling are sicker of hearing him than they ever were of hearing me. But I'm going to tell you one thing right now, gangsters. At Johnson City, at the Brawl in the Hall, it's going to be a Smoky Mountain street fight with the heavenly bodies. And before I even talk about Sunday Bloody Sunday, just in case you don't remember how bad the bodies are, I want you to take a look at a piece of tape that I brought of the heavenly bodies kicking the bejesus out of Rick and Scott Steiner for the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team title. I know you got that tape. I want to see it.
Let's take a look.
All right, so that was a hell of a line. And then Cornette, before we talk about the promo, Cornette throws it to a video package of the bodies giving the Steiners the business in WWF. There's some nice 1970s style music laid over the video. I don't know what it is. It sounded a little bit like the music from Rocky III when Clubber Lang was training, but maybe that's just me. Doc, what do you have from Corny's actual promo there in his line about the making more static than a $2 radio?
I like the "a mind is a terrible thing to waste" because that was the NAACP's tagline back in the day.
Yeah, I remember that.
The other thing is, I thought here in the old, I wish Harper was here for this. In the old sitcoms in the 70s and 80s, they would show like Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley did have these dance contests on TV where they would dance until the judge comes around and like taps them on the shoulder and then they're out. I would like to see Corny and Lawler sit down for a one-liner trade-off where they keep going until one of them runs out of one-liners to say about the other one. And I think you could go for a couple of hours.
Well, what would make that really good would be Lawler, Cornette, and Bobby Heenan.
Right.
That would go on for
sitting in a triangle,
years.
just kind of playing the dozens on each other.
Imagine being in a car with those three, and you just
you're driving, and you're just standing. Yeah. Well, eventually they'd get tired of busting on each other and all turn on you.
Probably, but let's just assume that they didn't. Let's just assume you're driving and they can't turn on you, and they're just talking and giving one-liners. If you don't have a recorder going when they're gone, you might be the dumbest sumbitch on the planet. You need to be recording that to play somewhere later, because that would be a great car ride. Yeah,
I agree.
All right, so Cornette there. Anything else from him?
No.
Yeah, I thought it was good, man. I mean, that line, New Jack was out here flapping his lips, making more static than the $2 radio. It's not the greatest, but it's a good one. All right. So then they, if you're watching on Patreon, again, it's tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. $2 a month, as little as that, you get a lot of the video reviews, and for a little bit more each month, you get the Crockett Promotions pay-per-views, Clash of Champions, and whatnot. We are rolling with our Patreon stuff that we've done in the last 6 to 8 months or so. There's a lot up there. 200 plus episodes, again, at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. All right, after the video clip that they show the Steiners and Del Rey and Dr. Tom in WWF, they go to Jim Cornette and Bob Armstrong. I felt like it was a commercial trying to get the people into the building for Johnson City on February 25th and then Sunday Bloody Sunday on February 26th. So, Doc, I don't know if I was going to play it because it was more or less an infomercial. Essentially,
I didn't have anything, son. So you're good.
Okay, that's what I thought.
You don't have to apologize all the time, pal.
Well, no, I mean, literally, they all they did was. They basically ran down the card like Tony Schiavone used to do on like the
I'm not Corny and Armstrong, and you're not New Jack. I'm not trying to hold you down.
Jesus Christ! All right, which we will talk about the Brawl in the Hall and Sunday Bloody Sunday because
we got some things. Bart, we got some things coming up real soon about this promotion. We're gonna have to get real serious about because some things about to pop off, right?
Sure are. We got a friend we got to get on this show talking about these things that are popping.
Who? Is it Tim Horner?
It ain't Tim Horner.
Is it Jim Cornette?
No.
Is it Inferno Brimstone?
No. But we'll keep going.
All right.
We got the Wolfman and Anthony.
Is it a Kentucky hillbilly?
That may be a Kentucky hillbilly, which he will love that term when he comes on. Are you pissed?
Oh, I would never call him that. That was you that said that.
Okay. Ashland, Kentucky. There's your hint. The Wolfman and Anthony Michaels take on Unabomb and Al Snow, who joins commentary at the start of the match. Al Snow says Michael and Wolfman look like the Rock and Roll Express. Al Snow must have been sniffing glue or something. Unabomb wins with ease when he hits Wolfman with a power bomb. Snow leaves the commentary table and goes in to put the boots on the Wolfman and Michaels. And Morton and Gibson out of nowhere make the save, and then Morton and Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express, challenge Unabomb and Snow to a match right there on the spot. First, Doc, do you have anything from the Wolfman and Anthony Michaels versus Unabomb and Al Snow, who Al Snow didn't even work the match. He was just at the commentary table the whole time.
Well, that's the only note I had is that I really liked that. I thought that was some arrogant bullshit for Al Snow to just say, these guys are so pitiful and my partner's so great that I'm just going to go do commentary. I thought that was some heelish behavior, and so I liked it.
Totally agree. So we'll keep going. We got, again, you just heard me say the Rock and Roll Challenge Unabomb and Al Snow, so they go straight to a match where it is the Rock and Roll Express versus Unabomb and Al Snow. The match starts with less than 3 minutes of TV time, so you knew immediately you weren't going to get shit from this match. It's very, very quick.
Right.
Ricky Morton gets busted open when Snow sent him into the ring post on the outside. Morton seems to just retreat, and he goes to the back, but he actually went to the back to get a steel chair. He comes into the ring and hits Al Snow, and then Unabomb with a few chair shots. Referee Mark Curtis says, DQ, DQ. Snow and Unabomb win as they go off air, but Ricky Morton got his revenge and got his comeuppance when he came in and cleared house with a chair. So that's how this show actually ends. Doc, I'll throw it to you. What do you have from the Express versus Unabomb and Al Snow?
Man, it's amazing how the Rock and Roll can just start up feud after feud after feud after feud. And some people get tired of it. You know, there's people in the Army, and you and Harper get tired of it and are tired of them. But I mean, they're just really good at it. They're just solid. And here, I mean, they're probably, still considered main eventers here, but they're obviously past their prime. But they're still real solid.
I think the thing that people get tired of is the promos. If there's one thing we've seen after seeing them you got to think about this, man. We're basically 3+ years at this point of seeing them in 2 different promotions. So we've heard the same promos over and over. That's the thing that I think gets people. Corny always says that line, how can I miss you if you never go away? Well, not only did they never go away in these promotions for the most part, they technically just went away in Crockett that we're doing right now, but they're about to come back and then leave again. If we don't miss them. I mean, we see these same lines a lot of times twice a week. So that's part of it. But hey, they're one of the best tag teams of all time. You put them in there with anybody and they can go. And, you switch dance partners with them and there you go. And, I like what they're doing with them here so far. We'll just have to see what happens or if anything happens further. And, that's all I have. Anything else, Doc, from this match though?
No, sir.
All right. So, that leaves us with, Doc giving out some disability checks. Before we do so, make sure you use our Amazon referral link every time you shop on Amazon.
Hey. We're not too far. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility here for people to pretty soon start their Christmas shopping.
I mean, I think there's a shitload of people who've already started doing it, dude. You know that. There are people.
So that's a time right there where you can, if you don't want, I don't want to become a patron. Fuck those guys. Okay, fuck us. But here's a way you could really help us all it takes is like one extra click and you can help the show and do something.
There you go. So go to tinyurl.com/BTT Amazon. Great way to support this show without spending anything extra. If you're already shopping on Amazon, you can use that link. Give that link to the wives, girlfriends, hoes, and side pieces in your life and tell them to use it every time they shop on Amazon.
Hey, I've learned something here. You can't just give it to them and say, use it. Let me help out here too. You say that and they go, oh, okay. And then they don't. You're going to have to follow up with them.
Them being the broads?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I know this from personal experience inside my own castle that I get the ugh because it's apparently harder. It's a one extra step to go click that link. So it's a major inconvenience.
I mean, I tell my wife,
and if there's
the damn link.
If there's anything that broads hate in 2019 is for them to be inconvenienced in the least. If they came out and said plastic straws were really the reason we're all going to die one day, bitches would be like, but I still need my drink out of the drive-thru, so fuck the planet, man. How am I going to drink this in the car without a fucking straw, y'all?
So
and then they just keep doing.
Our last vacation, they were serving those like Frappuccino bullshit, like the Starbucks type coffee, shit. My wife kind of likes those things sometimes, and they were serving them with like edible straws.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't like this. This isn't like a real straw.
No, it wasn't that. She was like, God, this shit. She's like, it works, but she's like, if they think anybody's gonna eat this shit, they got another thing coming. And sure enough, she was like, taste this straw. And I'm like, taste the straw. I took a bite of that shit. I can't even describe. It was
but
like
here's
it was
the thing,
chalk.
Jack. You don't have, just because somebody tells you something's edible doesn't mean you have to eat it.
I told her that too. I was like, you don't have to eat it. She was like, I
mean, I don't sit around, broccoli's edible, but I don't sit around chewing on the shit. So,
all right. Well, again, become a patron.
All I'm saying is that the first step in the process is for you to give this to your hoes. But you're going to have to do a little follow-up with them because they will wander off if you don't stay on them about this. And this really does help the show. So if you really want to help us out, you're going to have to, maybe we need to get Harper to cut a promo on the bitches.
So again, it's tinyurl.com/BTT Amazon. Great way to support this show. Give that link and follow up with the hoes wives, girlfriends, and side pieces. Follow up with them.
Maybe you just sit down with your lady and go, baby, I need to talk to you about something. And she thinks she's about to get her ass eaten or something. And then she's like, oh, she starts unbuckling her pants. Like, oh, let me get this ready for you. And you're like, no, not right now. It smells like a fish ate an onion down there. I just need to make sure that you're following up and using this Patron link.
That's nice. All right. So use the link, give it to him, follow up with him, and that's that. Doc, how many disability checks are you going to give this episode?
I said it at the beginning. I'm going to stay with it. This is a very good episode. It's not, it's not going to be above 9. It's not going to be one of the all-time greats. But for just a weekly episodic wrestling show at 46 minutes, man, this was really good. And I'm going to tell you, it got a little bit better as I went through this here and having fun and yucking it up with my homies, or homie. I'm going to say 8.1.
All right. Yeah, I think you're right on the money with that one. And next we go to the Government Cheese Award. I struggle with this because
it was a little bit more difficult than the checks, I got to tell you, because there were some candidates here.
There's very much multiple candidates here, but I'm going to go with the person who popped me the most. In New Jack and Cornette were good, but I got to go with Buddy in his underwear because Buddy's in his stinking drawers, cutting a promo, and he's angry. So I'm going with Buddy Landel, man. I got to go with Buddy. So Buddy gets my cheese.
Wow.
Who you give yours to?
Well, I'm going to actually give mine to somebody you didn't even mention.
Oh.
Man, you talk about my family, you're going to have to get your ass kicked.
Well, I mean, that's a good one, too.
I'm going with the Dirty White Boy because that line got me. And I think it's easy sometimes, even though this is going to sound weird because he's been the champ more than anybody else. I think it's sometimes easy to take him for granted in this promotion because we're looking at all the, cornies spotlighting over there and Lawler and Buddy, and they're all saying outlandish things. But man, Dirty White Boy is just the steady Eddie, top of the card, in some ways, rock of the promotion.
It's very easy to take him for granted because he's a rock and he's been there and he's solid and he's such a core piece. You can take him for granted all the time. And it goes back to a question I think we asked Brian last when he was on one of the first times on the show. We were talking about White Boy and who the MVP was. And I think who did you say your MVP of Smoky Mountain was?
I think it's him and Smothers, but I think he also said Dr. Tom and he also said Mark Curtis.
Well, if you're going to talk just wrestlers.
Yeah.
Dr. Tom is a valuable piece. But here's the thing. You can't disagree with any of those. And maybe we'll do a retrospective once we're done and figure out who the MVP
we'll have to.
is. But
maybe we could do a Smoky Mountain Wrestling Star Wars and just bring on people.
Yeah, me, you, and Harper.
Okay. That's really all you need. Hell, that's a challenge these days. That constitutes a big ass event.
That's a big event.
That's not a Star Wars like 605. That's like a Star Wars like world class. Like we're bringing in people from other promotions and shit for this big card.
except it's just us.
Man, life used to be so simple. What happened?
I don't know, man. But
we used to all just get together and record and talk about this shit, and then we just, it's like we had to make things too difficult.
I can tell you what I do know as I stop the Patreon video. I do know that you can go to our Facebook.
Below me.
Oh, no. Oh. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Just search Booking the Territory on either of those. I'm going to give Harper's thing. I'm not going to give tiny URLs out. I'm just going to say just search Booking the Territory on Facebook or BTT_podcast on Twitter. You can give us follows there and likes there. Shout out to the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing with ROH's Brian Malonis, Mike Crockett. They do their show every single Monday. Check them out. They support us. Please support them. Also, shout out to Our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast with Joe Murata and Michael Quinn. They support us. Please support them. They give their take on the northern side of pro wrestling's history. Slightly classier, a little bit more professional, but still fun nonetheless. Good shows. Check those shows out and enjoy them. And don't forget to become a patron. Get access to the ECW shows, the world-class shows, the pre-shows. 200 plus episodes up right now for you to enjoy at tinyurl.com/PatreonBTT. Doc, it's just you and I, but you want to hit the tagline and take us home?
I would love to. Wait, what is it?
Hit it.
Oh, book it, bitch.
Before we get out of here, I want to shout out a couple of people, friends of the show. Also want to shout out some Patreon members and thank them for their patronage. Before I do all that, like I said, a couple of friends of the show and podcasts that we hope you support. Check out the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing with Brian Malonis from ROH and Mike Crockett. They do their show every single Monday. Monday mornings the shows drop. They talk current and classic wrestling, along with some indie stuff too, but it's a good show. They're friends of mine, so please support them because they support us. Also, check out Our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast, run by buddies of mine, Joe Murata and Michael Quinn, as they give their take on the northern side of pro wrestling's history. Slightly classier, definitely more professional than we are. Thank you, Joe and Quinn, for all of your plugs. We appreciate it. Also, check out the Bottom Line Cast with Mike Prue and JV. They do their show. I believe their shows are dropping on Wednesdays these days. I keep forgetting, but they're basically breaking down the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. So check out Mike and JV as they do their thing. Great show. And also Mike and JV do the ECW Extreme Livecast on our Patreon feed at the $5 level. So good guys doing some good work, and I appreciate it, Mike and JV. Thank you for all of your support. And like I said, I want to thank all the Patreon members out there for their support and patronage. We really appreciate it. We do 2 shows a week that are free. And then in addition to that, we do more because of you guys, and we appreciate that. So thanks for supporting this show. It's definitely a great thing that you do for us and supporting us. I mean, I can't say it enough. I'm eternally grateful for all the patrons we have. And as I'm talking about being eternally grateful, shout out to the Hall of Fame patrons. Kevin Carter, Michael Angel, Bob Richards, Rocky Suazo, Christopher Champer, Will Harkey, Robbie Dyson, Rick Beebe, Brad Dunife, Tom Schlegel, Coach Joey Chase, a.k.a. Willie Chase, Steve Malbasa, LaRon Brown, Kenny Byersdorf, Glenn Abbott, at GA WrestleNut on Twitter, Bobby Murray, Marlon Mueller, a.k.a. at Half Pints Point. Keep cutting them promos, kid. I know you would love when I say that. Josh Warren, Everett Starr, Mike Childrey, Kyle Riley, Disrespectfully Classy, Marky Blassie, Craig Norman, Johnny on Patreon, the great John Dean at YRC21, Josh Dunn, Ryan in Auburn, at Ryan in Auburn, that is, on Twitter. Good old Justin, Robert Smith, Joseph Ice, Tim Moretti, Adam Price, Brian Evans, Mark Wilson, Armando Martinez, David Jordan, Jesse Jacobs, Josh Fields, Chris Myers, Gerald Green, Mitchell Johnson, Mike Prue, Will Parker, Jeremy Bryant, Classy Alex, David DeVries, Frog Zeppelin, SV Pageant, Bill Salsa, Big Rich, at Spy Boy Sports Cap, R.E. Miller 39, Jay Shiny, Ruben Espinoza, Merciless Jones, Jesse Lucas, Chris Browning, Justin Andretti, Coleman 822, Marty Howell, T-Hog 94, and God Bold Unreal. Thanks for being Hall of Fame patrons. That list is getting longer and longer, and I appreciate it. Thank you for your patronage, and thank you for being Hall of Fame patrons and supporting this show and everything we do. That's all I got. Thank you again, guys. We appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day and week and whenever or month or whenever you're listening to this. Thank you very much. And like Harper always says before we get out of here, book it, bitch.